Of the statutory requirements for election.
Representatives of civil society organizations, political parties, religious bodies called on INEC to do everything possible to ensure a free, fair and credible election in Rivers State. Nnamdi Olimini, rstv News.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure you saw that that clip, that report there by Nnamdi Olimini, actually giving us reports on the INEC Stakeholders Forum in Port Harcourt last Saturday, and a lot of issues were agreed. The State Forum, you asked what was the objective of the State Forum?
Yeah, first and foremost, it is the right step in the right direction for INEC to have organized a stakeholders meeting, which involved all the political parties that went to the polls, and of course other interested parties, the security, the press, and all of that. So I think it was geared towards proving that INEC is actually transparent, setting the agenda proper, even though INEC has earlier given us a timeline of what to expect in the days to come. The stakeholders meeting was actually to set the ball rolling, so to speak, that the process has actually begun. The process of collation of results have actually begun, and all of them went. And then INEC spoke, even though there were some discordant voices, you know, of course we expected that. But the summary of it all is that it was a huge success, and that's why the process of coalition has actually begun today.
Yes, as you watch what transpired there, it is part of what INEC, what normally described as open governance structure of INEC, because you need transparency, you need open governance in any corporate governance structure. And one way to do it is, we've had a suspended process because we had a lot of infractions. Some people tried to compromise the coalition process. There was some level of impunity by uniformed men, and we suspended the process. And now, over a time, we've been trying to dialogue to see, you know, rejig the process to see how we can actually bring this process back on course, with different inputs from finding election, you know, finding what do you call it, fact-finding mission and all that. And that has been the issue. INEC has a meeting, and the National Electoral Commission took over the entire process, and that's why today you have Mrs. Mbo, Mayor Abamuche Mbo, leading 18 other national officers, national commissioners to Rivers State to actually do this. And in the process, you find out that what INEC is trying to tell the world is that, look, we had issues before now, we can do it better today. And bringing every stakeholder together, the intention of INEC was not to generate some friction, was not to bring convoke a process, a conference of cantankerous you know, people, you know, some kind of strange bedfellows to come and quarrel over issues and all that. The aim, if you ask me, the aim was achieved.
Yes.
Because everybody was allowed to air his view. Even when the aggrieved party was talking about the issue of who takes custody of the
collateral results.
Heard what the woman said.
Yeah, I think with the foregoing, it will be difficult for INEC to turn the natural order of things around. Exactly. There will be so much transparency and straightforwardness because the world is watching. Nigeria itself is watching. Everybody is watching because almost all the states have concluded this process of election process. It's only Rivers State is remaining. So everybody's asking why.
Why Rivers State?
Yeah, why Rivers State? And that's why all eyes are on Rivers State to ensure that the right thing is done. And that is what we will be expecting in the days to come.
So now talking about the issue of who keeps the result, which was a contentious issue.
Yes.
INEC gave a straightforward answer that by INEC electoral guidelines, because there is a constitution that set up INEC Electoral Act, and then the Electoral Act now set up empowered INEC to set up electoral guidelines, and those electoral guidelines are legitimate, and INEC has been implementing those electoral guidelines that are legitimate, and so that electoral guidelines and other extant laws empower INEC to take custody of electoral results. So the INEC said, we kept it in a strong room, in our strong room. Yeah. Some argue it should be in central bank. That's not an issue.
Yeah, the expression strong room, quote unquote, you know, even in families, families have strong rooms. Individuals have strong rooms. Your strong rooms are where valuable properties are kept for safety purposes. Now in this case, INEC has said that the results so far collated, the 17 local government results so far collated, is in INEC strong room in Abuja, not here, not in INEC office here. The reason for that, in my opinion, is to dissuade politicians and other interested parties from influencing the process further. And that's why INEC...
And then tampering with the materials.
Yeah, tampering with the materials. And that's the reason INEC, in its wisdom, decided that this result so far collected should be kept at INEC strong room in Abuja. And I think it's the right thing to do.
And I think that what's happening is that we have this continuous trust deficit. There's this trust deficit, and people don't seem to trust institutions any longer in Nigeria.
No, of course.
And that's the problem. If you watch over time, it has been INEC. When things don't go your way, you call INEC. When things go your way, so INEC is the most transparent body and all that. Even though INEC has its problem, this time around, during the presidential election, they had logistic issues. Serious logistic problems, and so they had to postpone, and then there was they tried to improve on logistics. And I think that during the governorship elections, there was a slight improvement on the process. These are things you will talk about INEC, but you cannot remove INEC function from it because you do not trust the institution.
Of course, INEC is the umpire.
It's the umpire. So I think that
it is not the duty of the security to do what INEC is doing. Or it is not even the duty of the politicians themselves to do what INEC is doing.
And INEC cannot, renege on its responsibility.
It can't.
It cannot. And then shed its responsibility to other institutions because you don't trust INEC. Whatever issue of trust, problem of trust that you have, whatever issue of breach that you think there is, you have legitimate means of seeking redress, and that's the tribunal. And that will be after election. I think that a lot of stakeholders are putting the cart before the horse, and that's why we are having all this shenanigans in the whole process.
Yeah, I think, Mr. Bond, I think INEC is in the right track with the way things are going. Talking about trust. You know, politicians do not trust themselves, and so it will be difficult for them to also trust.
So you don't give what you don't have.
It will be difficult for them to also trust the INEC. Now, politicians are known for manipulations, a lot of intrigues, maneuverings, and all of that. So they are thinking that for INEC to have kept the result in their strong room in Abuja is probably to favor one party or something. But I don't think so.
No,
I think INEC is trying to redeem its image with River State. You know, there have been accusations and counter-accusations that INEC is not being fair to this party, to that party, to this individual, and all of that.
Especially a party in government.
So INEC, River State is a litmus test, whether it will turn red or not, to know if INEC is in itself is independent and transparent. I think this is what INEC is trying to do. So INEC should be able to live up to expectations as the world.
And you have this issue over time, and people are beginning to wonder what the opposition political or what politicians actually want. What do they want? You have had cases of somebody claiming he won an election, and the next time you say election should be cancelled.
How can you say you won an election when results have not been declared?
And at the same vein, when you came to understand that you were actually basking in vainglory, then you come up to say cancel the election.
Cancel election.
And I don't know why people are excited about ensuring that there's a constitutional crisis in Rivers. INEC has the deadline for INEC to finish this in the 30th of April, and that is the constitutional framework, time frame, because you cannot go outside the time frame when elections ought to be conducted. So if INEC doesn't get done with it now, there will be a serious constitutional crisis in Rivers State.
It is wrong.
It's wrong for people to wish that, because some people are saying just because you don't want to be there, therefore there shouldn't be any government in Rivers State.
Some parties have even gone to court.
We have these issues who go to court, and then the court making pronouncements and saying INEC has the right to continue with the coalition.
Well, one area I quarrel with a certain political party that is in court is that the process of collation should be halted because the matter is in court. The matter can be in court, but as a court giving order, these are two different things. If a matter is in court, it means that the process is on. The court hasn't said that the process should be halted. It is a court order that will stop the process of collation. But we haven't seen, no court has given order. And the court in its wisdom will not even want to give order. You are not a lawyer, but I think from...
As a journalist, you know what obtained.
Yes.
Because these interpretations are given to us by lawyers and the judiciary. Now, you know that there has been an attempt over time to ensure that this process is derailed. First and foremost, we have that hoax, that false publication.
Okay.
That
the certain court in Abuja.
Abuja has given order. And we have that, that publication in almost all social media. It went viral. That will tell you how frustrated, some level of desperation.
It was an illegal court order.
No, there was no order at all.
There was no order at all.
It was concocted out of the imagination of the author of that production. A lady, who was working for the opposition in the state. That would tell you the attempt being made by some politicians to scuttle the whole process.
But none seem to be working because it is the responsibility of INEC to conclude the process, the electoral process in River State, and that's what INEC is just doing. My take here, Mr. Bond, is that there's no right thinking reverse man, or even somebody that is not from River State, that resides in River State, that would wish that the election be cancelled. We have 17 local results from 17 local governments. That's quite a large number.
And a lot is being done.
If INEC in its wisdom considers that supplementary elections should be conducted in some few areas, that's okay.
Isolated
areas, that's okay. But to say that
two local government areas,
but to say that the entire process, the entire election should be cancelled and be redone, I mean, it's uncalled for. It's uncalled for.
So we are still waiting for our colleagues in the field to call us and tell us what is going on. And we told you we are going to live stream some of the issues going, some of the what is actually transpiring there at the center. And let's see whether we can get calls from our colleagues in the field. Solomon, I don't know you would have done that. Because I know that Vincent Akko is in the field. Gospel Anele is also there in the field, and we expect them to send calls to us. The studio number is 09071145968. Let's see whether we can get.
While you are doing that, just a quick information. The stretch from water lines to GRA Junction, there's a road diversion to Olobasanjo and of course Polo Club. Yes, to Kemita. So I think we have a call here. We have a call? All right. So the reason for this is to not allow people to throng the INEC premises, to also to protect the personnel, the INEC personnel, and of course
protect the
entire facility there, and of course collation process, because if you do not allow people to have access to these areas that have been cordoned off by the security police personnel, it will mean that they may disrupt the process of collation. And I think it's a wise decision on the part of the security apparatus here. So going further, about now, collation is ongoing at the River State INEC office, and I think all parties involved, the revalidated list of agents to political parties, the press, of course, INEC officials from about three INEC residential commissioners are in the state.
18 commissioners.
18, you said.
Coming from INEC to oversee the process. We were there at the stakeholders meeting. And of course, Mayor Abamuche Mbo is actually in charge of this process.
She's leading the team.
Bayelsa Edo, Rivers State, and a commissioner in charge of these areas in terms of supervision. So it's actually
the process is on now. Yes,
and, it's a process that Rivers people will be very happy about at the end of the day. I think that there's going to be light at the end of the tunnel.
And for us here in the studios of rstv, we will do well to bring our viewers update of happenings around the INEC Collation Center along Aba Road.
Yes, let's see what's going on, and I want to see whether Vincent Ako is still there.
Well, Vincent Ako is one of our correspondents at the INEC office there. We do believe that ready.
Okay, I think that the collection center is actually ready now, and we are going to have some clips about the collection center right now from the OD. So let's watch. Gearing up to ensure that they give us the necessary reports. Vincent are trying to reach you, and they have a gospel annually there in the field.
A massive deployment of security personnel.
Well, 1,000 police officers.
Yes.
And about 300 civil defenders.
That's
1,300.
Sister security agencies also there to do their job. There is no traffic is diverted to Lobasenjo and of course polo clubs around that axis. We're not seeing any vehicular movement. What we see there are security personnel. We've not been able to cite any official there.
Yes, but if you watch there, you see some level of ambience there, peaceful ambience environment, and that's the inside. I hope it gets clearer.
Yes.
Inside the collection center itself. You can see
as soon as the pictures are stable,
a sea of heads there within the room.
Yeah.
You could see some sound bites, some clips from the center. You saw the outside. You have an environment that looks so peaceful.
Yeah, serene.
And it is not a piece of the graveyard, some may say. It looks real.
It shows that there is order.
Massive deployment of
that's it again.
Police officer, and this is inside the hall, the collection hall itself. There is, you can see a sea of heads there, mainly people, accredited persons,
maybe agents to political parties.
Collection officers, and you can see some of our reporters.
Yes, the press.
Some of our reporters there, and they are there awaiting the proper collection process to start. And I promise you, we are going to live stream what is going on, and the reports will be coming in gradually. I think we are trying to enter that hall.
Yeah, let's inform our viewers that this is live pictures coming from the INEC office here in Rivers State. Earlier we saw pictures of security personnel, and then some media guys who are there to also transmit some of these things that are happening there. We also saw the revalidated agents.
Yes, going inside the place.
Yes.
And this is the gate coming to INEC. I see there's no confusion there.
Yes.
People are passing freely within the place. That is not to say there is no security. You see security men hanging around from all the flanks.
Not just people who are permitted who have something doing there. Yeah.
And security men seem to surround the place. And men of DSS, men of what do you call them? Civil defense. And then you're also talking about 1,000 police personnel. Wow, that shows that this is serious business. If you know INEC gate, that's what it is there. The Aba Road, and that's the gate there. You saw it.
It's interesting. We want to believe that this serene atmosphere will continue throughout the...
It's a very busy environment.
Yes, it is. Busy but calm.
Calm, yes. Very busy environment, and serious-minded personnel are there, accredited personalities are there. And that is to show that the timeline for the completion of the suspended Rivers State governorship and assembly election has come into reality.
Yes.
The timeline has come into reality because we've had stakeholders forum. We are doing collation today, from between today and the 5th, and then we may have supplementary elections on the 13th. And before you know what is going to happen, before the 20th, results may have been announced.
Yes, I think what we have
certificates will be issued.
Yes, I think what we have seen so far has given a pinch of hope to Rivers people that the process will soon come to an end. Before now, nobody seems to know the direction. You know, everybody would want to ask, when will this process be brought to an end? Now, it started with the stakeholders meeting, and then today the collation process has also begun. We saw pictures, live pictures from there, and I think whoever that is watching, or wherever you are, if you're a Rivers man, I think in the days to come, this whole thing will be brought to an end.
Just so that our reporters in the field will not keep us in suspense, because the entire atmosphere there is an atmosphere of suspense. And the people are beginning to ask, you're showing us picture, we're not hearing results being counted. Collation going on. I think that they will go on. Let's see whether
we'll get in touch with some of our reporters.
We'll be calling. Let's see. Vincent call doesn't seem to be calling. Vincent call.
We can also reach other reporters. Anne Lee is not connecting. We can get in touch with Anne Lee.
Let's see whether we can get Anne Lee.
Anne Lee.
We have the panel right there in the field, and let's see whether he is going to reach us. 0806.
While you try that, I think the studio number is also displayed on your screen. You can also call the live studio here to have interaction with us. If you have any doubts, any information to us, you can freely share your thoughts with us here in the live studio.
Is the first local government area to be taken? Alright, no?
Yes.
Okay, I hope you keep us posted. Don't wait for us to call you. Keep us fully posted when these things are going on, right?
Let me ask you a question. What is the mood of both? What is the mood of both the officials and, of course, the party agents that are there?
Well, everywhere is saturated with security personnel, and everywhere is calm. The security-wise is okay. And the exercise, everything has been arranged properly for the proper takeoff.
Okay. Everything has been arranged for proper takeoff. I like that word, saturated. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, everywhere now is The collation has started. Now let me enter inside.
Okay, go inside because so you can be briefing us. Thank you very much, Daniel.
Please do well to call us.
Let's get the voice for that. Let's get the voice. I think that collation is about to start. You will hear God Panel talking about collation starting, and they're starting with Port Harcourt City local government.
Yes,
that's quite an interesting one.
Yeah. Call us via the numbers that is displayed on your screen.
I was no voice yet. Alright. Let's see whether we can get some calls. Okay.
Go on.
Alright, I hope. Hello? You are tuned to live studio of River State Television. Yes?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, this is Johnson calling from our people.
Okay.
Johnson.
You are tuned to River State Live, River State Television, 22. We are giving you live broadcast on the collation.
I'm watching you people. I'm watching people live.
Okay.
You know, my little contribution is that all these things, when you check other states, you find out that these issues have been concluded, and at least by now,
go ahead.
All these results would have been concluded. So I just urge INEC to do the needful, and we are hoping for a good and prosperous victory at the end of the local election, because everybody in Rivers State knows the truth and knew what really transpired, what happened.
Okay.
But the truth, I don't pretend, I don't like hiding truth. I say it the way you know what really happened. So nobody should come and start pretending that this and this, but that we knew who won the election.
Okay.
So that is all. The little must be done. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Who was leading in the election, well, victory will be declared later, whoever wins, and hope that, like you have said, thank you very much, sir, for coming. If you see that,
thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, welcome. So keep glued, yeah?
Yeah, for now, the coalition process has begun. They are beginning with Port Harcourt City local government area. That's another call.
Hello? Are you with us? Good morning. Hello?
Good morning. You're on to the studio of River State Television.
Yes.
Oh, we lost the call.
So generally, we're looking at the process. I am sure it's a dream come true. What kind of feeling are you getting from that you're watching?
Yeah.
Because
even though
I like Daniel's language, he said we are saturated with security, man.
Yeah.
And that shows that it's a kind of secured environment.
Yeah. Even though there is calmness, there is also anxiety.
Anxiety. That's the word.
Yes. There's also anxiety. So much expectation.
Yes. Hello. All right.
Yeah.
Anxiety
and expectations. What will be the outcome of this coalition? That's what Rivers are worried about. And another thing Rivers are worried about is that will the right thing be done?
Exactly.
Because we are broadcast journalists and we're not partisan. Exactly. But the truth be told, that elections actually took place, and then
go ahead.
There is no way an unpopular candidate or party will clinch a victory.
Hello, good morning. Sorry.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Oh, we lost it.
Oh, we lost that call. Yeah.
There is no way an unpopular party or candidate.
Ordinarily.
Yes, ordinarily.
Because you read from where.
Because election is all about popularity. We need elections about popularity.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Where are you coming from?
Yes, I'm coming from the chair.
Okay, let's have your contribution, sir.
Yes, I'm Dr. Lawrence.
Okay, Doc. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Go on.
I'm very much happy for the collections.
Okay.
That's going on, because the people that collecting the results is being displayed on screen.
Okay, we display them, we show them.
All the strategy agents.
Yeah.
Wait until we see the results.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Because I believe that there will be a good result.
Okay.
Yes. After the people that have been doing that, yes, they must come up with a good answer.
Okay.
But we should not kill ourselves. We should be patient and wait.
Okay.
For the INEC to announce the result.
All right. officer there is reading the collation guideline. Let's see. You can see.
Thank you very much. Before we start, you all know for every activity there are some rules that have to be observed, and definitely this one is no different. So I'll call on the state returning officer, who is now going to tell us the ground rules for this event.
Good morning, members of the High Table. I will lead the rest of the exercise and the captain for now. The task before me is simple: take delivery of all appropriate costs, make calculations, collect, take a decision. But for us to do that, we must follow the ground rules, the rules of engagement. If it has not been distributed to you, I will have the grace to read it out, so that we will have a very smooth exercise. There are 11 ground rules for engagement today. Number one, even though we've reached this time, apologies, the exercise will run between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. Number two, admittance to collection hall is strictly on our approved accredited list. I'm sure we are all accredited to the games. And number three, each political party that appeared in the ballot paper will have one and just one. Each political party that appears in the ballot paper will have one agent in the local government collation center, which obviously is not here. Number four, once results of LGAs is presented to state collation officer and agents, for that LGA will leave the center or be linked to other.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Before we start, you all know for every activity there are some rules that have to be observed, and definitely this one is no different. So I'll call on the returning officer, who is now going to tell us the ground rules for this event.
Good morning, members of the High Table. I will lead the rest of the exercise and the captain for now. The task before me is simple: take delivery of all appropriate costs, make calculations, collect, take a decision. But for us to do that, we must follow the ground rules, the rules of engagement. If it has not been distributed to you, I will have the grace to read it out, so that we will have a very smooth exercise. There are 11 ground rules for engagement today. Number one, even though we've reached this time, apologies, the exercise will run between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. Number two, admittance to collection hall is strictly on our approved accredited list. I'm sure we are all accredited to the games. And number three, that appeared in the ballot paper will have one and just one agent in this hall. Each political party that appears in the ballot paper will have one agent in the local government. Okay. Number 4, once results of LGAs is presented to State Coalition Officer and accepted, all party agents for that LGA will leave the center or be produced for
resumption of collation. Thank you very much.
You all know for every activity there are some rules that have to be observed, and definitely this one is no different. So I'll call on the state returning officer, who is now going to the ground rules for this event.
Good morning, members of the High Schedule. I will lead the rest of the exercise and the captain for now. The task before me is simple: take delivery of all appropriate costs, make calculations, collect, take a decision. But for us to do that, we must follow the rules of engagement. If it has not been distributed to you, I will have the grace to read it out, then I will have a very smooth exercise. There are 11 ground rules for engagement today. Number 1, even though apologies, the exercise will run between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. To collection hall is strictly on approved accredited list. I'm sure we are all accredited. And number 3, that appeared in the ballot paper will have 1 and just 1 in this hall. Appears in the ballot paper will have 1 in the local government collection center, which obviously is not here. Once results of LGAs is presented to State Coalition Officer and accepted, all
party DA has
resumption of collation. Thank you very much.
party DA
resumption of collation. Thank you very much.
party DA has 1-0. DA has 1-0. Party DPC has 1-7. DPC has 1-7. Party DPP
resumption of collation. Thank you very much. Resumption of collation. Thank you very much.
Party DA has 1-0. DA has 1-0. The votes as obtained by various political parties are as follows. Party A is Party A has 1457. 1457. Party AA has 151. Party AA has 151. Party AAC has 118. APD has 2-1. ABGA has 1-5. Party APN has 9. Party APP has 106. 106. The votes as obtained by various political parties are as follows. Party A is Party A has 1457. 1457. Party AA has 151. Party AA has 151. Party AAC has 11866. 11866. Party AAB has 266. 266. Party ABB has 22. 22. Party ACD has 77. 77. Party ACPN has 124. 124. Party AD has 16. 16. Party ADC 93. Party ADP has 77. Party AGAP has 4. Party ANDP has 115. 115. Party ANP has 1. Party APA has 2. Party APDA has 2-1. APDA has 2-1. ABGA has 1-5. Party APN has 9. Party APP has 106. 106. The vote as on.
welcome back. Sorry for that disruption. I'm sure we've intensified anxiety with that little technical hit there. But we are streaming live the collation process going on at the INEC Center, INEC office on Aba Road, and we're talking about the collation of the governorship and House of Assembly elections that were suspended last month. Well, the process has been set rolling, the timeline has been set rolling, and we are having collation proper. You've seen the ambience, you've seen the environment, peaceful. About 1,000 police officers were actually unleashed on this process, about 300 what they call them, civil defense personnel, and of course all accredited or regulated officials are there in the process, and the results that have been held in the strong room all this while are being rolled out. And the collation started 15 minutes ago. Yeah. About 15-16 minutes ago, like you saw there. And I had to give the ground rules for the collation. And of course, we know we are going to be watching, and the anxiety will be very high. This collation will take place from 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. every day until it is done. That's one of the ground rules.
There's about 8 hours.
8 hours stretch. And so Rivers people are going to be tensed up and watching. And this time watching with some level of not just anxiety, with some level of happiness. I'm sure you're watching us live on our Facebook channel, rstv channel 22. That's our rstv Facebook handle there. And then you're also watching us on other social media handle, like YouTube and what have you. So we're going to be with you all this process. The first segment of this collation will end by 12, and we're going to have a short break and we'll continue. But the issue now is that Port Harcourt City local government is the first local government to be handled, and the results are just being rolled out there, and we'll give you all the details as they unfold. And I'm sure you are eager to get the results. I mean, court had ruled long ago. These other ones going are just mere distractions. And I think that the process is on, and INEC is not relenting. Let's see whether we can get some calls. Hello? Hello? All right.
Hello, good afternoon. Oh, we're still in the morning hours. Good morning. Good morning, yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Well, the good news is that the court has struck out that appeal by the SDP, that the elections be cancelled. So there is hope that the process will actually the process of collation will actually continue. Yes. Yeah, earlier we saw pictures of INEC officials and of course party agents and the press in that INEC room, where we saw INEC returning officers addressing stakeholders. Okay. And
let's see what this center is there. Hello? 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 Good morning. I think it's very low. Good morning. All right. Good morning. Only one state, only one local government has just been.
We can't tell you which party is leading from now.
We'll give you all the.
Yeah, the process of counting has just begun. So they have started with the Port Harcourt City local government area, and in the
observation that you should not hold down. You have equation areas, as well as central places. You often find from politicians trying to hold down the collation process.
This will not be allowed.
This will not be allowed. That's one of the ground rules. Yeah, it's not one of the ground rules, and because that place is not a place to bicker over anything.
Yes.
No form of bickering will stop INEC from concluding the process. I always say, if you have any serious problem, you go to tribunal.
Our cameramen are there, and of course our reporters too.
Let's get this. Hello. Hello. Okay.
Chinedu, where are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from the Bible. I'm searching here.
Okay, so what's your contribution?
I want to say, what are they calling the result?
They are collecting results now. Local government by local government. They already collecting results.
Could you turn down the volume of your TV set?
There are 17 results that have been collected, and they have been announced there at the INS Center. So the collection process is ongoing now. They have taken Port Harcourt and they are taking other local government areas step by step. It's only when they finish collation that you will know which party is winning or leading.
Yeah, a quick warning here. If you have to participate on this program, when you call, please do well to turn down the volume of the TV set so that we can communicate properly. If your TV set is on, there will be interruptions and interference. Thank you.
So that's it. The anxiety is on. We are calling. Well, INEC is doing bidding, is doing well. The environment is peaceful, and we hope it is sustained. About sustainability of this peace that we have now, so that at the end of the day we shall have a result. There's no running away. A few days from now is not eternity.
We shall be connecting live to the INEC office where the collation is taking place, and then we will bring you live pictures as this program unfolds. Hello, good afternoon. Oh, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Where are you coming from? Hello?
My name is Victoria.
Okay, you are calling from where?
I'm calling from River State.
Okay, Victoria, you sound like an underage. I hope you are not.
No.
Okay. You are more than 18?
Yes.
Okay, what's your contribution?
You say?
Victoria, what do you have to contribute to this program?
I want them to call the result so that we know the person that is winning the country.
Okay. Victoria, are you watching? Are you watching our station? Are you watching?
We lost Victoria.
Oh, we lost it. Okay.
Something about ruling the country. Because she's an underage person. The age here is from 18 and above. When I heard the voice, I knew it was underage. And the same thing, the rule must be obeyed. Underage person should just watch and get the report. When we were kids, we were watching and getting reports. And we were reading newspapers. But this is for contribution purposes.
Yes.
So we want the younger ones can watch, but the mature ones can make contributions. That's the rule here. Hello.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Your name and where you are coming from?
I'm Mr. Friend, calling from Ochi.
Okay, what's your contribution, sir?
I don't know if I ask you question.
You don't have any problem, ask any question, but provided it's reasonable. Hello?
Why is it that I did not do anything from not showing the special treatment?
You want to see what?
Why is it that I did not see army personnel?
Army has no business in elections, and it was said over and over, and of course they promise they are not going to be part of what is going. But they are there on their alert. The soldiers naturally will be on their alert in their various locations, in very strategic places. To ensure that if there's any need for them to intervene, they will. But right now, it is entirely a police business. About 1,000 police personnel are involved in this collation process, with about 300 civil defense personnel. So it's not a military business. You know what the army did last time.
But before you go, what are you expecting the army to do in this situation?
Thank you very much. Thank you. God bless you. Have you seen that this can happen earlier? We remove army entirely from all the geographic countries. All the projects we are facing this and that. I believe that we need have something that the military party.
Okay, thank you very much.
So thank you that Nigerians have realized good. You have to have shown me.
No, go on. Hello?
I don't want to put you off. Go on, you're there. He was watching.
He was watching.
I just want to make sure that you're still on air. Hello? Hello?
Are you getting me?
Yes.
Yes, police is there. People defend are there. They are doing all their job perfectly. Please, how wish we tell Nigerians, whenever it comes something like this, let the police, the civil defense, do their job. There's no problem.
I think that's exactly what's happening now. Yeah.
Yes.
I can't use over. Engineering, let the police do their job with civil defense. Let military do by the side, very far.
Did you watch the film clip we showed earlier? Did you see the army there?
That's right.
That one said you.
Yes.
It's only when civilians want to overpower the civil defense or police that the police now have the power to go their senior which way.
Yeah, that's the right procedure.
You're on point. Thank you so much for participating.
I think that Rivers people are beginning to realize. Last time we had a militarization of the process, some people thought it was the best thing to be done, and I was wondering where they were getting that kind of mentality. Because there was even a court ruling that no army, no military personnel should be involved in the electoral process.
Yeah, that was in 2015 during the Jonathan era.
Exactly.
It was even the party at the federal level that even took the PDP to court. And then it ended at the appeal court. And then the court ruled that it was not the rule of the army, the military, to get themselves involved. You know, it's an aberration.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, this is Matthew Kashu.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
I agree with that too.
All right, thank you very much.
Your colleague. Yes.
None of us is the guests. We're all discussants on the program.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much, sir.
Go ahead.
We are talking about the 2019 Nigerian elections and the aftermath effect. I guess.
We are listening.
Go on.
No, we are talking about the collation. We are talking about the collation of result right now. It's going on.
All right, yes. Collation of result is not the hearing.
It's ongoing.
Every candidate or political party, INEC should be free and fair. INEC should be the one. INEC should play the debating role instead of taking sides. And nobody, I beg, as a river son, no politician should come from Abuja, should stay in Abuja or diaspora. But graduate INEC to do the wrong. What is wrong?
Where are you from?
I beg the INEC to do the listening. Thank you very much.
It's coming from Calio.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your
contribution.
Yes.
And that was a brilliant one.
It is.
Shows the resolve of Rivers people to ensure that the right thing is done. Because a time came when people in Abuja were perceiving having wrong signal because of few individuals, even elders.
But it is actually independent, exactly. So as its name implies.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Your name, where are you coming from?
Good morning, God Power.
God Power, what's your opinion about the collation?
Okay, my opinion about the collation is that INEC should continue with their process of collecting the elections.
The results.
Yes, and they should take the army to go back to their power. If action are told that we will leave their party, yes, they should be back and then they will call them to come out because army has caused a lot of havoc in our state. We have lost a lot of people. We have lost innocent souls. Families have been shattered. A lot of things. Please, we should best army to go to power. Enough is enough. Let us allow the people of Rivers State to stand. And again, we should tell the federal people that are coming from federal that have no business in Rivers State. They are just agitating for problems in Rivers State. That we should allow Rivers State to be. That democracy is the government of people and for the people and by the people. Let the people have that opinion, have that faith that we will come out and defend our food. Enough is enough. We have covered with Egypt and we are not in our promised land. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you could see the
Rivers people talking.
Rivers people talking. These are genuine Rivers.
Yes, they are.
And rstv is a grassroots television.
It is.
And so people are talking from the grassroots. And these are real Rivers people, not self-seeking politicians or self-seeking elders who have changed the narrative to suit their individual.
One thing is sure that as the process has begun, it has actually doused that tension.
Yes,
it created anxiety. It created earlier on. Let's hear from this person.
Hello. Good morning.
Yeah.
What's your name? Please again.
My name is Frank.
Okay, what's your take?
Yes. To start with, I want to express my displeasure to the rstv management, meaning the grassroots television. How can this 21st century that we are in, a station like rstv will be going up there at week? You can make it
gentlemen.
Well, excuse me, sir. Let us dwell on the positive. We are asking to make your contribution. You see, the problem is that Nigerians don't know how to do their own part. You are passing the buck now. We call you to make your contributions. You are talking about the station. Do your own job. You are
passions on us.
Do your own job. Do your job is to make your contributions. Our job is to show you. Yes, we went off air like every station in Nigeria, even CNN. And then we are streaming the program live for you. You should commend us for bringing this program live. Even human beings break down. How much more machines? So excuse me, sir.